Hello, welcome back, everybody. So we're in the stream today. It's been a good 2 weeks since our last stream. We're in here with
You
Billy,
still editing
Gavin,
things over there, Aaron?
Aaron, and Cornell. And I guess we're just gonna be answering questions. Whoever's viewing, I love you. If it's Cornell, I hate you. Um, and yeah, let's see what we're gonna get into. All right, we're live.
Go, finally.
Now,
I know Billy's here. I know Cornell's in here. There it is.
Yep. Okay, so we actually have a topic picked, which is pretty boring to some people, but I think it's pretty interesting. In regards to the education system. You guys are not making this easy for me.
What do you mean? I mean,
Got a good audience.
pretty
Thanks.
simple.
I mean, I'd like
So-
some conversation in here, you know.
What are you wanting?
Okay, so Cornell, you're in college, right?
This
No,
man's in high school.
No. High school. So you both are in high school. Me and
Exactly.
Billy are graduated. Billy
yeah,
being
I've been
You guys don't
oldest.
have rights.
The fuck you mean?
So
Man,
honestly, in my opinion, when I was going through high school, and I don't know how it is in different states, but in my state, I honestly kind of wish we learned a lot more with our history.
I do as well, yeah.
There's a lot that my parents tell me about that they learned while they were in school, and I look at them and I go, I didn't learn that. All they taught me was politics.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, I think school is very biased. They don't teach anything in regards to what you actually need in life. So taxes, bills, unless you take a dedicated class to that. For me, it was accounting and I forget the other class's name, but they need to make it a requirement to graduate to have a class in regards to money management, taxes, bills,
Yeah.
how to get a job, and whatnot. What's up,
Yeah,
guys? How are you?
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
And it's-
definitely
It's
I
very
get
hard.
that. It is, and it's. I get. Still have a brother that's in high school right now, and he asked me these questions, and then it's like, dude, honestly, I have no clue what's gonna be. What your class is gonna do once they graduate. I mean, he's just getting taught. I don't know. They focus on political stuff more than anything else.
And it's very irrelevant, especially to people who are just starting to go into the workforce after high school. Politics has nothing to
exactly.
do with your job.
So
At least from a certain standpoint, taxes and all that kind of stuff. Yes, but just talking about, the president and what this means for criminals and whatnot, that has nothing to do with us in general, but just, I guess, the entire world. Nothing to do with after high school procedures, anything like that. Also, with COVID 19, it's going to be very hard for futures coming up unless they come up with some sort of cure for COVID 19. It's going to be hard because even my grades are going down since virtual. They just shut us down for another 12 days. So, since virtual's been a thing, grades have been going down, and attendance has also been going down. So graduation, the amount of people that graduate in each school will go down.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. I mean, COVID's a big factor. COVID's a big factor everywhere you go.
Yep.
I mean, it's even a factor for how I work. With all the stuff set in place. The testing, you gotta wear masks, social distance. COVID has taken over our lives, and it's changed it completely. It's gonna be something that we will remember. And hopefully, eventually, we will get over it, and we will be back to normal, and it'll just be like one big dream.
Get out of here.
But definitely, online learning is kind of not what a lot of
Bullshit.
people expected. It is bullshit.
You guys can go ahead
you
and
know,
put your
I
questions
finished
in the
my
chat.
senior
We'll
year
go ahead and try
online
and answer
learning,
them. You'll give us
and
something to
I
do
didn't
when
get
we're
to
just chatting about
enjoy
the education
graduation,
system, which isn't the most
prom,
interesting,
or
but-
senior trips like all the other classes did. So basically, my class got fucked with that, and I never got to enjoy that. And who knows? Maybe you might, Aaron. Same with you. You guys might be able to get a graduation actually, but for the class of 2020, um, it fucked us over completely.
It's gonna be horrible.
And it's also affected a lot of us too. But for what I went to a trade school, so
Yeah,
it'd be
it's
all of us
it'll
just
be
kind of went to
bad.
work.
Oh, you went to a
COVID
trade
is a
school?
thing, but yeah, I went to a trade school.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
So
it's kind of depressing because some people aren't going to be able to do walking the field. Some people aren't going to be able to do prom. I forget which grade that is, but I never
Nope.
went to it. Some people are not going to be able to do, like you said, senior trips and all the senior things that they get to do. And it's just not going to be able to happen for some people, and that's what they look forward to in their senior year. Their last year of high school, I'm going to go on the senior trip. I'm going to do this. I'm going to, it's just not the same.
exactly.
gotta-
No, I get that a lot.
Yeah.
I just, I kind of hope that you guys are, able to do that. You guys get to experience everything and all, but with the way COVID, I don't. Everything's at a stand now. But hopefully everything will turn better. You know, you'll be able to go back to class because honestly, in my opinion, going back to class right now is not. Um, I don't think it should be a thing at the moment right now. Going back to class because it's like you get sent back to class and
Same.
within a week you're back at home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, so I just got a comment from the Flying Cactus. They said, yeah, I had grad during COVID, and I had to start. Okay, so graduated from the 8th grade and had to start 9th grade in COVID, which is rough because going into high school, if you're in America, I think you're in Canada or England, wherever, it's gonna be rough because that virtual, if you're virtual, it's going to be super hard because the subjects algebra and geometry and world history, which is not that hard, but it's new subjects that you have to learn, and it's not going to be easy to try and do those subjects, especially online where it's basically teaching yourself. You're not motivated to go to school, you're not motivated to go into class to hear the type of conversation they're having. Basically get your education. I still don't. I do my
Yeah.
assignments by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
So
That's the
like,
sucky part.
I believe how many of us, Nick, you're a graduator, right? I think Nick's graduated.
I didn't realize that, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not in school anymore.
But yeah, you're not going to school anymore, so you're graduated. JC obviously graduated.
Nope.
So
I'm in college.
you're in college, but still, what year did you graduate?
11.
11. Yeah, so you've been out of high school for God knows how long. So
Thanks for making me feel old.
You are old.
but
Billy, you're
I
like
mean-
the same fucking age as me. You're like, what, 1 or 2 years older? Younger?
25.
but the thing is COVID though
year.
has affected your college.
Yes, it
Sure.
has. Yes.
You went from actually being able to go in class to now being stuck at home, which
Yeah,
isn't
for the
a
most
bad
part.
thing necessarily.
No, it is bad.
But
I failed.
so kind of, and for who that comment was for going from the 8th grade to ninth grade, it's a big step. And with COVID, it's like when I transferred from middle school to high school, it was very nervous. You're the bottom of the totem pole. And you're new to a new school, with completely different places. If you were going to a trade school like I did, I went to a trade school, so I was going to school with kids from different towns. Where my middle school was just the kids from the town I lived in. So now I'm going to school with totally different faces, and it was just very nervous. And for the kids that are transitioning to that, they kind of won't get that feeling because they're going to be stuck at home on their computer. So, it kind of sucks. Any type of graduation, whether it's high school graduation, middle school graduation, elementary school graduation, in college, you're not going to be able to wear the cap and gown, and you're not going to be able to have the ceremony at all. And it kind of just ruins everything.
Oh, god dang.
I know every state is different though, so we're all in different parts of this. We're actually, I believe, we're all in different states, which is cool. So we can kind of, what other states are like. I know with my state, they're thinking about probably shutting down again because our cases are going up.
Yeah, they're going to try ours, but everybody's pretty much said go fuck that guy.
Yeah, JC lives in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
Yep. I think
With his Usenet internet.
for the north, such as Michigan, basically anywhere where it starts to freeze or gets a decent amount of snow. I feel like it's going to be worse.
Oh,
Because
it's
the heat.
yeah.
The heat, at least from what I've heard, the heat. COVID's not as bad. And heat, obviously, in the winter, it's going to get a little worse. There's no heat. As well, Thanksgiving is close to that time, which already passed. Everyone's getting together. Everyone's going to airports. Everyone's traveling. It skyrockets. Same thing at Christmas, which is in I don't know how many days.
It's
Less than
Shit.
20.
yeah,
But-
less than 20.
It's gonna go up again, and that's exactly what happened with school.
Indeed.
Because people were actually staying home a bit, and then school went in session. My school actually was doing pretty well, but we got 3 new cases in the course of a week. So it's really not even
It's
safe
actually a lot worse here.
to go to
think-
school.
From what I heard, I think they were getting like in the dozens of cases every week, so they had to shut.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's. I mean, what if I pull up? We go.
Y'all on server?
No, we're
No.
actually live.
Oh.
Etiquette,
You're what?
We're live.
COVID cases. We're doing a
Mm.
podcast. We're just okay.
Aaron
So,
is streaming.
oh yeah, Aaron's
Oh, is he?
streaming. So, right here, Connecticut COVID cases.
Oh, let's
From
go to
what is this? 6/6. What was that? June. So actually, here we go. So back at the beginning, 5/15. This is what is that? May 15th. Yeah, May 15th of 2020. There are 618 new confirmed cases. As we started going through the summer into June, about the end of June, there was very little cases. There was a couple spikes, but it was relatively actually pretty quiet for the most part. And then, same with July. It was a little bumpy. For the most part, summer was fine. It was, like Aaron said, the colder weather. As soon as the colder weather hit, I mean, cases just skyrocketed. I mean, and all the way up to, as of the 6th, we're at 8,129 confirmed cases of COVID in Connecticut. Oh,
Yep.
actually, 138,258 total, with plus 2,414, and the deaths deaths are at 5,000, with more being added.
Illinois is at 806,000, and then 392 deaths. And it looks like this last 14 days was 8,867 cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday we had 183 more cases in a single day. Which
Mississippi, we just got
Any
1,200
more
today.
questions? We're still
cases.
taking questions. We're trying to figure out what to talk about.
But and 0 have recovered in the state of Mississippi too.
Bullshit.
So actually, they're saying everywhere hasn't had a recovery, so I don't know what the
Bullshit. That's bullshit.
But it's just it's screwed school over for many people.
Yep, and it's gonna continue to do it until they figure out how to fix it. And what's funny is,
Yeah.
once this first released, everyone is running around, oh, it's a hoax, it's fake, nothing's real. And the
It's so
next day,
fake.
they are dead. I don't think it's fake. I mean, people,
Have been dying.
yeah,
But-
It's not fake. My great grandma.
And I-
Oh, I'm sorry. We had 1,700 new cases.
yeah.
What was
and
the
I
other
would be
thing I
like,
was
oh,
looking
it's
at?
it's the government, government's putting pesticides in people's coffee. Come on, that's not even.
That
no,
sounds
stop.
ridiculous.
Birds aren't real.
Yeah, birds are government spies, and those
Yeah,
are the
that's like
type of
saying
people I
spy.
can't stand because they try and come up with a theory for everything, and it just sounds so dumb. It sounds
So-
so dumb.
Death rates by year. In 2016, we had 2.7 million, we had over 2.7 million deaths. 2017, we had over 2.8. Well, actually, 2017 through 2019, we had over 2.8, and as of 2020, we have only 2.6 million.
2020 ain't over. You got 2 more months. One
Yeah.
more month actually.
One more month,
One-
really.
less
Like I
than a
said, we're
month.
not out of the woods.
Less than a month.
But I've talked to a lot of people about this, and they agree it's getting tiring. We need to move on.
This year's went
Um,
by so fast.
It has,
did.
surprisingly.
Every
It's been
year
the
goes
sl-
by
It's been the
fast.
fastest, lowest year ever.
Yeah,
really has.
and I don't know if any of you work in customer
Because
service.
I mean,
But I've
Yep.
noticed people just started to come in without masks because they don't care anymore. And
My store that I work at, since day one, we have not worn a mask.
Yeah, and I wear a mask.
Like,
and
we
the
were-
store doesn't require me to, and I kick people out the store whether I'm allowed to or not. I'll kick them out. I'll kick them out and say you have to have on a mask. And if they try and pull that medical condition crap, either okay, you can get your stuff, you can order online, I'll take it out to you, or you can leave. Don't come in the store without a mask. The drive-thru's different, even though it's not 6 feet, but you know they're in their
Drive-throughs, I don't wear a mask when I go through a drive-through because it's like I'm just in my vehicle. You give me my food, have a good day, boom, I'm out. I'm out in less than like 2 seconds.
Yeah, and what can you do?
There's so
even
many
if they
options
wanted you
these
to have on a
days of
mask,
ordering.
they're in their own
Yeah, of
property.
ordering.
You can't do anything about it.
I'll be honest. I walk into gas stations without a mask because usually if I go into a gas station, I walk in, I hand them $20 and say pump this, and I tell them to pump number. I walk out. I'm out in less than 2 seconds. If I'm gonna be in a building, if I'm gonna be in a building
Hold
for
on.
more than 5 to 10 minutes, I will then wear a mask. But if I'm only going in, like I said, a gas station in 5 seconds, here's the money, this is the pump, walk out.
So I walk into my gas station, or no, I walked into Walmart yesterday with a mask on, and like within 30 seconds of being in there, I was like, "Fuck this!" I took it off
You know,
It's-
and
funny.
walked around.
There's a
Walk
lot of
around with a
people that
mask.
can't do it.
Let's be honest. There's surgeons that are in an operating room for 12 hours wearing a mask, breathing just fine. Don't get me wrong. Some people can't breathe in them because of asthma or whatever it is. I understand. But a different topic, sort of. You guys know what
Yeah.
DoorDash is, right?
Knows what?
What?
DoorDash? The company.
Say it
that
again?
delivers your
You're
food?
peeking.
DoorDash.
Oh yeah,
DoorDash.
DoorDash. Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
DoorDash.
DoorDash,
God,
yeah.
that's
So
sticky.
they made $16 million since
Just to
COVID-19
interrupt
started.
this, the McRib is back.
Yes.
I heard
appreciate
the
that.
McRib is back, and I
I
kind of want to try it now.
I didn't know they took it away. Honestly.
What
Me
they
either.
what?
Yeah.
I
Has it
haven't had a
been gone for
McRib
a
in like
while?
5 years.
No, they haven't. They had it last year.
No,
Is it good?
Yes.
I've
they
never
turned
tried
no.
it.
They
Try McRib.
discontinued it in 2015 or 2016.
Well, they had it down here last year.
Well, y'all guys are in. Y'all guys have used that, so
They have to have their.
they probably
they have to
didn't.
have
They probably didn't hear that they were supposed to discontinue.
Yeah, you get expired rib meat.
No, because what they usually it was like, it's usually around this time they always they discontinue it and then they'll bring it back and it's only for a short time. Every
Just
year.
like the every year they have the Shamrock Shake.
Oh, that thing's so good.
Oh,
Dude,
I
I've never,
forgot about that
dude,
too.
I've never gotten one because every time I go,
We're
their
so
machine's
close
down.
to getting it though. If you think about it, like March is right around the corner.
Yeah, my birthday's right around the corner too, so I expect.
Don't worry.
My birthday
None of us
is
are gonna wish
in-
you a happy
You know,
birthday.
Like
My
each of
birthday
you.
is in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Good for you.
Okay. Anyway, back
That's good.
to what I was saying. DoorDash.
DoorDash.
They made $16 billion
Makes a lot of
since
money.
the start of. Yeah, it is since COVID-19. Now,
Yeah,
let me
my
have-
cousin
believe
has
it.
started doing DoorDash.
Let me have a look here.
$16 billion. Wow.
Started
Oh,
doing DoorDash
your
because
Ping is like horrible.
who's paying?
Who?
Aaron's,
How is my ping horrible?
because you would break up every other word.
That's you, dude, because he never
You.
broke up for me.
Yeah, same here.
Okay.
My ping
so-
is 50.
2019. Now listen, 2019. This is the start of 2019. When did COVID start?
Uh,
Or no, it
Actually-
technically started in December, but I think it started like
It
surfacing.
started.
It
No,
hit-
it started in March of 20.
February,
started-
March.
All the shutdowns started happening in March.
Yeah.
But it started in late
Okay.
February.
So if we look, DoorDash 2018. Okay, so 2017 revenue was 550 million. 2018 was 700 million, and then it just jumped 300 million to 1 billion, which was in 2019. And then in 2020, it went all the way up to $16 billion. So
I
it
just
went from
realized-
1 billion to 16 billion in a matter of months, basically.
Yeah.
I've only ordered DoorDash like 3 or 4 times throughout this quarantine.
Well, see, and the
Used
thing,
to be
the
really-
DoorDash is a more inner city thing now. I live out in the middle of nowhere, and same with JC, and probably same with Nick, 'cause
Yeah,
living in
no,
Illinois, there.
Live in
Nick
the middle of
doesn't-
I
bumfuck
live
nowhere
in
too.
a city environment.
City. Okay, so mainly me and JC, we live out in the middle of fucking nowhere. So DoorDash isn't ever available to us at all. Therefore, we have to drive to get our food. But we do have local mom and pop shops,
I got
Oh,
a gas station that's got better food than most y'all got.
probably. And that's another thing too. The small businesses have been affected by this majorly.
Mhm.
Yep.
They've lost so much money, it's insane, and it's sad.
Everyone's lost money. I mean, luckily I didn't lose any money during COVID because when they shut everything down, I was in the food
You were
industry,
essential.
so I didn't have to stop working. I was technically an
See,
essential
so-
worker.
See, that's where I kind of get tripped up on stuff though, because you are requiring these businesses to shut down and everything, but the issue is Congress hasn't passed anything to benefit these small businesses, and so they're forced to break the law to stay open to make some money, because if they don't, then they're going to completely lose their business.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not saying it's anybody's. I mean, it is people's fault. I mean, Congress has to get something to where if they do shut down, these people are still making some money, or at least relieved of some of the debt that they incur from it. But you can't get mad at businesses for disobeying the law over it whenever they're put into a situation like that where they either choose to follow the law or be able to have a livelihood.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So at the beginning of this, when it first started, 2020 for me started off not the best. I had a medical issue that happened real early, so I had to leave the job that I was working, which is surprisingly where I'm at again. I had to leave because I wasn't able to drive for 6 months. Therefore, I couldn't get rides to work. So I basically had to leave. And so I just went to school normally, did my thing. And when it started hitting, a lot of us were like, concerned. We're asking our teachers, like, hey, are we still gonna, if we get out at this time, or like if we take these 2 weeks off, we still gonna have graduation at this date? And a lot of teachers were like, I don't have the information for that. And so when they called it, all right, man, you're gonna take 2 weeks off for now, and we'll see what happens. And so we're like, oh yay, 2 weeks. We get 2 weeks of no school. Woohoo! Well, then sooner or later, 2 weeks started off into being a month,
Yep.
and then a month turned into being no school for the rest of my senior year. And and then I kind of just did odd jobs throughout the summer, so I wasn't really in an area with a lot of people. The only big job, well, technically, I did a FedEx distribution center, and that I don't know how I didn't get COVID. There's workers in there that don't wear masks, and you're around a lot of people. So I was honestly surprised I didn't get COVID. And then going back to working at where I'm at now, retail. We have customers, but we have the mask policy and all that. So, and we still have customers come in though. And they will they'll talk and ask,
Oh, man.
well, actually, some of them come in without masks, but I don't really, when it comes to, if they don't have a mask, I don't get mad at them. I just, everyone's entitled to how it goes and all that. If you believe it's a hoax, you believe it's a hoax, and if you don't, and if you believe that Corona's real, then okay. I'm not gonna sit there and be an asshole. Like, you gotta put a mask on. Like, that's just not how I go about my work. Because it's like, I'm just there to make money. I don't want to go to work to then have to deal with bitchy customers. It's just not how it goes.
Well, the problem is, I mean, it's not really, as far as I'm aware, you wearing a mask, it's not to protect yourself. You wearing the mask is to protect other people if you are
Exactly.
sick.
Exactly.
So
Mhm.
if you're wearing a mask and someone else isn't, you're the only one at risk,
Yeah.
for the most part, at least. Which I think that's why a lot of businesses require it. It's not for you, it's for everyone else.
Yeah, and please
Mhm.
ask your
Exactly.
questions because we'd love to hear them and answer them. Yeah, I mean, the mask thing, when COVID, I don't know if you guys remember this, but when COVID first started, everyone was like, these masks aren't going to do anything. Our breath will just slip right through the fibers.
Yep.
It does.
And it kind of does. I'll be completely honest. I'll have my mask on, and I'll take my hand, I'll put it in front of my mouth, and I'll breathe, and I still feel the warm air come. It's not a
Because I can
lot.
blow vape. I can blow
It's definitely
vape
a
through my.
percentage, though.
Okay, see, my thing was, right? My thing was for the mask, what made me kind of like really not give a fuck about the mask. So, when all those fires were in California, over the summer and shit,
Mhm.
or in Oregon and Washington, the CDC come out and said that the mask would not help with the fire, because the fire, even though the fire particles were bigger than the coronavirus particles, like by a good bit, they were bigger, but they were like, yeah, they won't help. So if something's bigger, then it should stop through those fibers, correct?
Yeah, I
Well,
remember reading
theoretically,
up
but
on
it's also a
that.
percentage that's getting through. It's not the entire thing, so you still have a lower chance of getting it.
They were
If you
like,
cough,
yeah,
if you cough, the water droplets from your mouth, for example, it'll only go so far because most of it is being blocked by the mask.
Exactly.
And then on
Um,
the other end, it will hopefully not get that far because the other person is also wearing a mask.
The crazy thing is, like, even before COVID, countries, not America, of course not America, countries decided, if we're sick, we're just going to put masks on. I think it's China, Japan, all those, the very populated countries and towns and whatnot, they wear masks. I'm sure you've seen the pictures of people in Tokyo. They're walking around and some of the guys have masks. It's because they're sick. And they're not going to spread their virus. They're not going to spread
Yeah.
their disease. Because if they do, you're around hundreds of other people.
I know that they do. I know that that happens sometimes in the U.S. It just
Americans are very selfish.
depends on who you are. But I mean,
Before
yeah,
COVID, I think I might have only seen like maybe 5 people in the last couple of years wearing a mask.
same.
mhm,
Yep. Yeah, it's very tough because people don't want to listen. They want to do what they want to do, and they don't care who it affects. But as soon as one of their loved one died. You know, oh, we need to start wearing masks. We got to start
Yeah.
listening.
Exactly.
And if that's what it takes, that's what it takes.
Actually, I have had people die, family, like immediate family die,
Mhm.
and from COVID, and we still don't care.
Wow, not good.
Well, I mean, that's you.
That's
See,
the
thing
South.
is I'm not necessarily worried about what's
Don't
going
care.
or
Wow.
what's happening now, because right now it's just unavoidable. Like, I mean, it's gonna,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm
But
actually waiting to
the
get
thing
it.
is, once the vaccine comes out and stuff starts to settle down, I'm more worried that it's going to stick around where, you know, they're like 50% capacity even once that, because it's never going away.
No, it's
I mean,
here.
it's always going to be around. It's going to be like a flu. It's always going to come around. But I'm more worried that a lot of these restrictions are going to stay in place afterwards. And at that point, it's like we have to just move on with life. I mean, you can't just
Exactly.
keep restricting it. I mean, I want it to stop because it's outrageous right now. I mean, it's just out of hand. But it's never going to go away. And I'm worried about where the government is going to be like, okay, you know, we just have to take the risk. I mean, it's going to be around. People are going to get it. We have to stop because people have to get on with their lives.
Yeah,
If the
and
I mean,
vaccine works, I
you
think
go around.
it should
What?
hopefully
That's
just
Yeah,
kind
and the vaccine will
disappear
definitely
until
help, but you
the end of the
definitely have a
year.
lot of people that will not get the vaccine. You have people that will get the vaccine, but it's ineffective on them. You know, that's a small percentage, but it is out there. So it's going to be around.
A lot of people don't want to
But
take it because they heard about the side effects and whatnot that are being reported. But
What are the side
yeah,
effects?
so
I
you're
haven't
going to
heard
have a
of
lot
it.
of people that don't take it. But I mean, you have a very high risk of dying in a car, and you have to take that risk. And although right now COVID is riskier than that, later on it's the risk is going to be a lot lower than what it is now, and people are just going to have to deal with the risk. I mean, that's just how it is. We can't just be burrowed in our houses for the rest of our lives.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I get that
and
completely.
I forget what I was gonna say. Oh,
Like, I'm
um,
pretty sure only like 10% of my city is going to get it.
basically, how I think about
Same.
this is soon, because with polio, is that a thing still? I don't think it is.
Polio, I haven't
No.
heard of that in a while.
That's
There
because they
have
created a
been-
vaccine with it. They created a
There have been a
vaccine.
couple of cases.
Yeah, but how
Exactly.
long did they do that vaccine? Like that's our thing. I think with a lot of people, especially here in my area, people are talking. You know, they spent all these years on all these other vaccines, but yet this one's what, a year in the making,
Mhm.
something like that. And that's what
Well,
everybody has a trouble with. Is like, yeah,
I've
I'm not taking
I've
something that's
researched that because I've also had trouble with that. But the issue is the reason why vaccines take so long is not because of testing. You know, only about they did a thing and it was like only about a year of it is actually used on development and testing. The rest of it's just waiting because
Yeah.
they have, first of all, they're not in a huge rush to get this vaccine out because it's not that big of a, I mean, it's a big deal, but it's not that big of a deal like it is right now. And so they're not in a huge rush. They're not focusing all their attention on it. But then let's say it takes them 6 months to develop something. Well, now they have to wait for approval to start testing, and then that takes like 6 to 9 months to get approval for, and then they start stage one testing, and then they
Mhm.
finish that after 3 months, and they're like, okay, well now we have to send this and get approval for this testing, and generally most of the time that they are developing a vaccine is spent waiting for approval or waiting for the go ahead from, you know, upper management to say, yeah, you can continue with this. All right now, all of that's been sped up. I mean,
Mm.
because it's a global pandemic, obviously.
Yeah.
Hopefully, with this vaccine that they release, I know a lot of people aren't gonna take it. There's a lot of people who don't like vaccines. I know JC said he hasn't taken the flu shot since he was 21.
I haven't had
Um,
the flu shot in at least 4 years. But
Like,
I still
I've never
take
had
it,
the flu
but-
shot,
At least
but
4
I've
years.
also never had the flu.
Yeah. Hopefully, with everyone, if everyone starts doing what they're supposed to do, staying at home, wearing their mask, very minor things. If they start doing this, hopefully soon enough, uh, the virus will basically be the flu. You know, it's not that big of a deal. Yes, people die from the flu, but it's easily treatable. Go to the hospital, you know, take some pills, go home.
The
Stay
thing that
home.
I've been kind of on is I think COVID's been around a lot longer than what people think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because they did come out with that. The CDC took blood samples from the Red Cross from summer 2019, and they had antibodies for COVID-19.
Mhm.
So the fact that that's been there, I just think we didn't know what it was, and so people were being treated for the flu or a severe cold or pneumonia, and they ended up passing away from that. But I think it's been around a lot longer than what people think, and it's just that we're testing and being able to find it rather than it being um, what they thought of it back then, which would be, you know, pneumonia, a severe cold, or the flu. I'm not saying it's at the scale it is at now,
I don't.
but I think it's been around a lot longer than what people might think
I think it
because
has
of that.
been, but I don't think. I think it's. I forget the word for it, but it's just gotten worse, I guess. Um,
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
actual
no,
side effects and stuff like that has gotten worse, and that's why it's
yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I was referring to. Is that it's been around a lot longer than what people think. This is maybe a worse strand, or it's evolved and changed up how it affects people, or makes it more the infectability or infective, whatever you call it, infection rates a lot higher. But I think it's been around a lot longer than what we think.
Yeah, and kind
You
of to
know,
jump back on what you said earlier about you know, it not going or restrictions and all that. You know, one thing my dad said is that the only way we're gonna get through this is honestly we need to build an immune system. And it's just how it goes. You know, we built an immune system to the flu. Yeah, we're still gonna get it, but if we get corona, will be a little bit stronger. Plus, I've known people who have corona and they recover from it. My buddy had it for 4 days. Ever since that, dude, that kid has felt so much better. I've had customers come up to me and talk about it, and they've had it, and they feel so much better afterwards. So it's like, yeah, you got to deal with 4 days of feeling like complete crap, but after that, dude, you feel so much better.
that's the thing. Like I'm not saying be unhygienic. I mean, you know, do what you have to do. But I think we have gotten to a point where everybody's so scared of getting sick at all that it ends up worsening their immune system. Like whenever I was a kid, I used to like lick the rails at like Walmart's.
Oh, I used to do so
What?
much
Like,
stupid
you know,
shit.
just some stupid shit because I
What?
was a kid. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Licking rails at
And
Walmart? You're so random.
dude, I'm just pointing out a Walmart rail is very unsanitary. But you have people that are like, before you eat, you have to wash your hands for 20 seconds. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you know, they're so worried about getting sick that it's worse in their immune system. And so when they do get sick, it affects them like crazy. Like, I haven't been seriously sick in probably 4 or 5 years to a point where I've had to stay home for a day. It just
Mm,
doesn't happen. You know, I may get a cold where I'm just like, like I feel like crap a little bit, but that's about it. I haven't been sick to a point where
Yep.
I'm like not functional, and I think it's because immune systems. I mean, you have to build it up.
Yeah.
The last time I was actually sick was 4 years ago. I was 13, and I got the flu. I haven't been sick since then, except for when I went to this Chinese buffet, and I got food poisoning, and I
Dude,
had to
that's
stay
that
home
that that
for
was the
3
last time I
days.
got sick. Is from food poisoning. I ate
And
some
food
shrimp.
poisoning is the
Okay,
worst. Ugh.
yeah, for the first, it's too, you got to deal with it. And at first, you're just puking up and you think you're going to die. And then you got to puke again and you ain't got nothing left. And so then you want to
It
die.
hurt. Yes.
And it's terrible. And then
Get the
I
squirts.
got over that. And I think 2 years later, I decided I was like, I'll go back to this Chinese place. And I go back. And as soon as I sit down, they get my drink and everything. And I get my drink and I notice something in my drink and I pull out a fortune cookie wrapper I was like, nope. I'm
Oh,
leaving.
fuck that.
I called the waitress over and I was
How
like,
do
I'm
you
not
get
paying
a
for this. I'm
wrapper
walking out. And she was like,
in the drink?
okay. I'm like, yeah, no, fuck
Yeah,
this.
bitch.
Yeah, and all the restaurants.
By the way, that
they
restaurant is
just
no
shut
longer in
down.
business.
Yeah, I'd hope
All
so.
of our restaurants are shutting right back down. So we were
Hmm.
open for a few months actually. So the IHOP, the Applebee's, the Chili's near us, they were all open for dining. Obviously, they had restrictions, so every other table we couldn't sit at. And now, because of Whitmer,
The fuck? Why the fuck you eating at Applebee's?
I'm just saying, like they were open.
Bro,
All these restaurants.
Did you know that all? I
Bob
saw
Evans.
this thing and it was so funny. It's like, did you know that all Applebee's have the exact same head chef? And it was just a picture of a microwave.
Eh,
This is true. This is true.
Okay, continue with your story now.
anyway, now we're shut down until after Christmas. And then we don't know if she's going to extend it even more. So we're shut down until 2021, basically. Which, I mean, it's not going to work. No one listens to it, but
I'm not supposed to be going back to school till March. And by that time,
March?
6 years gonna be almost over. Yeah, March.
wow. We haven't even thought that far ahead.
No.
That's the projected earliest time that we'd be going back, but obviously if things
Earliest
change,
time. Oh my god.
that's not gonna be the case.
I don't think I'm going back to school for at least another 15 years.
Okay, brother.
Wait, aren't you going for dispatch?
I mean, that doesn't require schooling.
It requires some schooling for
Training.
certain-
certificates and
Requires
stuff.
training. But I don't have to go to school for it.
Most dispatch
I can just
agencies will
go
do on-site training for almost everything.
Yeah.
Shit, not ours. They send you to fucking college.
Your dispatch
Like
is
for-
required college?
Whenever I went through the police academy, I had to go through the college. They offered one.
Yeah.
The city police department offered their own academy, but the department I joined didn't, and so I went through the college. It sucked too. I was working at the jail, and so I was doing 8-hour days there, and I was working morning shifts. So it was 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. And then I had this was for 6 months that we did this, and it was I worked from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. I got off. I had enough time to go shit, shower, shave, go, and then I had to go to school from 5 to 10 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then Saturday I had to go to school from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. And I did that for 6 months, and it was absolute hell, but that's what it requires. But as far as dispatch goes, there's no training. I mean, there is training, but you don't have to go to school for it.
The one here, or all of ours around here, they all make you.
I know some states require certifications beforehand. Some places will offer those certifications in house, and then there's some states that don't even require certification, just in-house training.
Yeah. So kind of like it kind of deals with COVID. It's a little bit. So I realized, with my police, I don't know if you guys have realized, but do any of your guys, city cops, state troopers, or local police departments, do any of the cops out there wear a mask?
No.
During the
my-
time that so from the time that we had our first shutdown until about the end of July,
Mm-hmm.
our sheriff had said basically not to pull anybody over unless it's a serious issue, and if you do have to pull them over, if it's something that you can write them a ticket for, just write them a ticket for. But we were very discouraged from pulling anybody over, so we weren't required to wear masks unless we went into a scene.
Oh, so are you an IRL cop?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
So
Good.
my sheriff's department, the sheriff said that he was not requiring anybody to wear a mask. He didn't wear a mask on anywhere he went, and anybody in the county who, they shut down barbers and shit like that. Well, we had a few still opened, and people were calling him in, and he would go by and be like, he put it the ones that he went and talked to. They got back around. He was like, just kind of quieten it down. Don't let everybody know you're open, but y'all can say, "Oh, but I'm not going to shut you down." because he was like, "That's stupid."
Yeah, so in my state at least, I've passed by plenty state troopers. Not a lot of them, honestly, are wearing masks.
Well, and I can touch on that. A lot of people don't know this, but your state police department has jurisdiction over the entire state and is required to follow the laws or
Mhm.
rules that the state police department issues. But they don't understand that the sheriff is the highest ranking official in your county, and so what basically, if you have an officer with the state police department operating in that sheriff's jurisdiction, they don't have to follow. Well, I should say they don't have to follow. They are able to go by the rules set in place by the sheriffs or the procedure by the sheriff, and disregard the rules and procedures set in place by the state police department. A lot of people get that confused, as well as the fact that state police department has jurisdiction over the entire state, but a sheriff has every right to kick a trooper out of his county.
Yeah, so
The sheriff of the county that's just south of us has been known to kick troopers out of his county and force them to move because they write too many tickets.
yeah, so obviously, my state being up north, we don't have a sheriff's department.
Wait,
Our-
what?
What?
I don't have a sheriff's department. I live in the state of Connecticut. All there is your normal town cops, or like there's one
Okay,
town.
so
Wait,
city
yeah,
cop.
I do have to ask you because you are required to. Who operates your jail is what I'm asking. Is actually what I'm about to ask.
So I live in a town called Woodstock. Woodstock, our cops are state police. If there's an issue, we call Connecticut State Police Troop D. They come out and they'll help. The town over from us is Putnam. They have Putnam PD. Isn't many cops. Troop D helps with them. They have a jail. Actually, I don't even think they have a jail. I don't really know. I haven't gone to jail, so I wouldn't know. I think they do. And then there's Killenly and Davil. They have their PD. But for most of the part, Connecticut State Police.
You have sheriff's offices.
Where?
Fairfield, Hatford.
That's out there. Where I live on my side, we have state police take care of us. So that's what
The thing is,
What county do you
is,
live in?
Wyndham County.
A sheriff's department doesn't have to operate its own patrol division.
Hmm.
The only requirement
have
of a
a-
sheriff's department is to operate the jail.
You have a county sheriff,
What is that?
Wyndham County Sheriff.
I'll be
It's in
completely.
Putnam. It's in Putnam.
Oh, okay. Well, they're
Fuck, JC knows more about your town than you do.
Dude, this is Google. I was like, there's no way you don't have a sheriff's department.
Well,
I don't
they
know,
don't
sure.
drive around in cars that says sheriff on it. They legit have Putnam Police Department and Connecticut State Police. That's literally the two
let's see
type
if
of
I can-
departments that drive around in our area.
I don't have a sheriff's department either.
But yeah, because
So
you're
you're with just PD, no state PD or anything either.
you're right there in DC.
Wait, you only have
I mean,
one,
we have like
4, 5.
You have a
8
shit ton
counties?
of Secret Service.
yeah, we have a bunch of departments. We have MPD, which is our actual like police department. We have Park Police, which is another police department. They're not like they're not like state, or they're not like wildlife or anything. They just patrol like state parks and whatnot. But we have a bunch of those like Rock Creek Park. It's not it's not like Yosemite or anything. Everybody can drive there. It's just like an area. It's regular land and everything, but it's an area called Rock Creek Park. And Park Police is out there. We have Secret Service, of course. What else do we have? Yeah, we have a bunch of people actually.
I don't know if you guys noticed. I just figured this out recently. New York City's sheriff department is literally just the NYPD's livery.
I believe
New York
that.
has sheriff's department.
Well, I'd expect
York
upstate New
has-
York because it's so fucking big and just wilderness. They're beautiful.
Well, I didn't know that New York City had a sheriff's department.
Yeah, it looks super wonky.
Yeah, their highway patrol cars are also the same.
Oh, let's have a look at
I
that.
don't care what anybody says.
NYPD Highway
Uh,
Patrol.
Texas Department of Public Safety has the best highway patrol vehicles out
They
there.
look so nice. Yes,
Just
they
saying.
do. I don't know. Michigan looks nice if they remove the bubble and put a normal light bar. Hear me out. They put a normal light bar on Michigan's
Okay, this is where I have an
vehicles.
issue
They
with
would look
DOJ.
nice.
Why the fuck are Crown Vics driving around with FedSig Valors? The FedSig Valor didn't come out until like 2013, 2012. There's no reason for that to be on a Crown Vic. It just pisses me off because it's so unrealistic. I Googled it one time. You cannot find a Crown Vic with a Valor on it besides in GTA.
Valor.
FedSig Valors are the ones,
I didn't see
are
that.
the light bars that have like the triangle on the front, kind of.
I wish. I don't know. I think Texas, the Texas DPS vehicle, looks very nice. Except for on the Explorer, it looks so weird because the only thing white is the hood, and I think.
Yeah, the Explorer is kind of weird, but the Tahoes, oh my god, they're so nice.
I've seen the Charger. The Charger. When I used to live in Texas, the Charger on the highway. Oh my god.
So what
There's-
department
Got a Challenger, too.
are you part of, Billy? If you're allowed to say that,
Yeah, I can say Potter County Sheriff's Office,
and where is that located?
Amarillo, Texas.
What is it called?
Texas.
Potter County Sheriff's Office,
Potter County.
Potter County.
I will look that up.
We all drive Tahoes. They're very nice. Mine is a piece of shit, and they're starting to go to Explorers.
You said Potter
Um,
County.
Yes.
What year Explorer?
Huh?
What year Explorer do you have? Or not?
I don't
Explorer,
have one.
Tahoe.
Our Tahoes are 2015s.
Oh, okay.
But we're getting Explorers, and on my shift, I'm the only one that does not have an Explorer.
Nice.
What
I mean,
is
I haven't
our,
been on shift for
what is- What is BCSO?
a month and a half, 2 months now.
LCSO mimicking.
What?
What is BCSO's LCSO mimicking?
LCSO is
Someone said
basically
they're
Michigan. Michigan, it's actually my county, Berrien County, Michigan, if you look that up. That's LCSO. And then BCSO is I forget how to say it,
It's like,
Alameda?
yeah, it starts with an M.
It's
No,
Alameda.
it's Alameda. There you go.
Oh, never mind.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely in that.
And then the other one is Dublin. Dublin Police, that's... What's it called?
It's actually on the PD roster.
Oh.
The
Oh.
place it's based off, or the cars are based off of the PD roster.
So I went and looked up Valor police lights for Crown Vics, and literally the first like 10 images are GTA.
Shocked.
That's funny. I want a fucking diesel.
I was so surprised when I was watching a video. They added the LCSO and they had my county. Like, granted, a lot of counties in Michigan have that livery, but they vary from state to state, or not state to state. I'm sorry, county to county.
Mm-hmm.
Berrien County. That's literally Berrien counties, and I was very surprised. And then they just added City of St. Joseph. Wow. That's crazy. I might actually download this.
All right, boys. It's 11:33. I'm gonna head out.
All right.
See you, man.
Nick.
That was good. See you, man.
Or actually,
What'd you say?
It's 12:34. Well, 11:34 for him.
yeah.
I hate when fucking YouTubers do that shit. It says like my last time doing this, and it's like, oh, what the fuck, drama, and then you just
then
go
you
and it's
wa-
like, yeah,
You watch it, it's not even really drama.
yeah, no. Like I went to go watch
That's how they make money, though.
yep. So I didn't even watch it. I'm like, I don't want to watch those kind of videos. Anybody want to ghost hunt?
Ghost hunt? Probably not tonight.
No, I'm probably gonna dip. I'm fucking exhausted. I'll be on though for the next 3 days, boys. I got no work.
I gotta work
Be
tomorrow.
on later today. But
All
I
right,
have to work
goodbye,
Thursday and
guys.
Friday.
See ya.
That'll wrap up the stream. Everyone have a great night.
See.